Hi Fam Bam, it's MJ Gordon here and Mr. Cashew. This is Mr. Cashew. A lot of you ask if he is the same dog that I had when I was pregnant. He is the same breed of dog, but he is a different person. You are a different person, aren't you? You are. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you with your paws. So today I want to talk to you about how to know if you're expecting too much out of yourself. This is a common question that we can get caught up in, like, what is too much? Is it okay to want this much out of myself, or am I not driving hard or pushing enough? Like, where is the normalcy? Like, what is the line of average, and how do you compare to the standard? First and foremost, I don't believe in standards, and I don't believe that there's ever too much, with the caveat, if things are in balance. When things are in balance, it's okay to have a little bit of everything. It's okay to ebb and flow, to move with the changes of life. And I think we're meant to want to desire and meant to want to create and to want to enjoy and discover and explore and experience life. I think that is 100% what life is about. So to answer your question in a roundabout way, there is, I think, an aspect of where you can be demanding too much of yourself, or in a way where it becomes imbalanced and unhealthy for you. So I want to talk about 5 different characteristics that you can identify if you're asking too much out of yourself because you're out of balance, and what it is that you can do about it. So the number 1 characteristic is you feel like you crash and burn before you even feel like you should be, or before you even know that it's coming. A lot of times we just go, and then all of a sudden we hit this wall, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, what happened? We lose steam, we lose energy, and it just feels like day and night, impossible, exhausting, like dragging bricks or whatever. Number 2, if you are dragging throughout your day, or it feels impossible to get your tasks done, or you're motivated, you're like, I've got my tasks list, I'm doing this, I'm getting it done, and then you get like through the first or second one, and then you're like, forget it, I don't want to do this, and you lose motivation, but you know you have to, so you kind of force yourself to, and then you kind of just lose all inspiration to want to live the rest of the day. And I don't mean that in like a negative, anxious, depressive way, but just kind of like, I just don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here, lay in bed, watch Netflix, or like scroll on social media mindlessly. I don't know if you get like that. When I get really tired, sometimes I try to distract myself from the way that I feel instead of doing something about it. And I'll like find myself reading or zoning out on something with like no purpose or absorption at all. So if you see that characteristic in yourself, it could be a sign that you are expecting way too much but are out of balance. Number 3 is that you feel like you're spread too thin, maybe over tasks that don't seem like it's too much or it shouldn't be a big deal, and then you feel like you're not able to give 100% of yourself in any area. Or if you give 100% in one area, then the other area falls. So like you can't seem to get everything at your best effort. And this was what happened to me when I was going through my fatigue. Was I would be so good, so disciplined, and so just sharp when it came to, say, my diet. Then I would start falling back on my sleep, or like my mood would, because I was just like so stressed about trying to make sure my diet was like really good. And so it felt like there was this constant pendulum swing, but I wasn't able to give my best effort in every single area of life. The 4th characteristic would be that you're riding on this emotional roller coaster. And this happens to me when I don't get enough sleep right now. It's like the day previous, I'll be jacked about life. I'm like, I'm doing this, and I work really hard, push really hard. I'm so stoked because I want to celebrate. So I eat and stay up late and like party with my husband. Party, meaning play with the dog and play cards or trains. And I wake up the next morning on a sleep deficit, or I had to wake up early. I mean, this is a great example of today. I had to wake up super early. Oh my gosh, to drag myself out of bed. And I was already in fight or flight mode out of the bed. And then I went to a meeting where I was hearing these very emotional but triggering stories, and it was awesome, but I came home so exhausted. And it was supposed to be my day off, but I was so exhausted that I felt like I couldn't even enjoy the day. And then I started feeling kind of bad for myself or bummed out that I wasn't enjoying the day. So I thought I might be productive, but because I'm not motivated, because I'm tired, I started feeling defeat and like not good enough. And so this emotional roller coaster might come in these like crazy ways where you're like, how was it yesterday? I was on this huge high. Life seemed amazing and so good. And today, now I'm feeling like bummed out and like I can't enjoy my day and like defeated. You're kind of clouded and not thinking clearly or not 100% yourself. So that's a huge characteristic. Now that I've cured my chronic fatigue, I don't even feel my period. Like I hardly feel my period. So what happened this last cycle was I was like, I ate this thing and it gave me a bellyache and I feel kind of just ugh, and I think it's because of my bellyache. And this was me like trying to figure out, like I didn't realize that I was having just mild cramping, and my body tends to get a little acidic before my cycle starts. So I was just having a little bit of cramping and just a little bit of kind of tiredness. I wasn't fatigued, but I wasn't as like uppity as I was. And I didn't notice until the next morning it started, and I was like, okay, I get it. Oops. But it's nice to not have like such a crash and burn scenario happen before this starts, whether it be a day, 2 days, or a whole week prior. The emotional roller coaster is a huge indicator of something being off balance or just you being tired. Like when your body is distressed, it makes you feel distressed. The last characteristic would be that you feel like you have zero motivation, zero creativity. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the emotional roller coaster. And you might feel like, yes, I'm pizzazzed, I have it. And then when you really go start doing it and you try to execute, it just kind of deflates really quickly, or you feel like you have to take that inspiration right then and there, or else if you don't ride that inspiration, then it's just gone. And so it's not that you're motivated or inspired all the time when you're energetic, but I mean, comparatively it does. It feels like it's really easy to at least generate that inspiration or come up with some creativity. But if you are on a deficit, it just feels like that's impossible, and it just feels like too much effort to do. So I hope these 5 characteristics have helped you identify whether or not you're expecting too much out of yourself when you're out of balance. And there's 3 things that you can do to address this if this is you. The first thing I want to say is slow down. Slow down. You're probably doing too much. And one of the best ways to slow down is, number 1, cut the crap. Like we talk about minimalism and simplifying, but cut all the crap out of your life. Unnecessary drama, people who don't lift you up or make you feel good, stuff that you're dealing with, which this is me right now. I've been like kind of stressed about maintaining a certain level of minimalism that I kind of threw it out the window, but now I'm like extra overwhelmed with how much stuff has been piling up. But so cut the crap that makes you feel heavy, makes you feel weighed down. That's super important, and it goes both internally and externally. Number 2, create the space. It is so important. And when I mean create the space in your environment, but also create the space in your time. By creating the space to do the things that you need to restore, to really slow down so that we are tapping into regeneration and restoration, not always in fight or flight in our nervous system. It's huge. We need to tap back into that restoration by slowing down. So making that time space, like if you need to put it on your schedule, calendar, use alarms. Like I've done all these techniques and it works. Set the alarm, make it non-negotiable, and show up for yourself. Number 3, use the space and enjoy it. Feel good about it. Like the good feelings produce all those amazing happy hormones that will help balance out your internal environment. So do the things that feel good. Do it for yourself when you create that space, and do it in a way that you enjoy it. And sometimes for me, I kick my family out and I'm like, I need space because I don't want to dance in my underwear when anybody else is around because I don't want to sing in the shower with everybody wanting to hear me. You know, it's stuff like that where you really just have time to be free to be yourself and like have the autonomy to do what you want. Sometimes it's just laying in the middle of the floor and going dum 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 and like just zoning out and releasing that energy passively. Like there's all different ways if you tap into yourself and get in touch with what your body is asking from you, your mind and your body, and giving it the space to process. It doesn't just regenerate and recharge your energies. It doesn't just balance your physiological state. It actually helps you process things. You get the time to process like conflict, emotional resolve, like things that you might be wanting or dealing with, like confusion. Like you get all this clarity by creating that space for yourself, and you get back in touch with yourself. You start communicating with yourself and really hearing yourself out, not just from a physical level, but from an internal, like what's in your heart level. So it is so good for you in so many facets to slow down. And it's okay to take a step back and ask a little less of yourself so that you can recover, or so that you can level up your energy and then have the capacity to do and be more. So I want to know what you guys can do right now to slow down or create space for yourself. Stick it in the comments below. This will help not only give you accountability by speaking it into existence, but it'll help the community get ideas if they're having a tough time, like thinking of ideas and just trying out some things, and just being a community, supporting one another, because we're all in this together. I appreciate you guys so very much. So much, and I'm so happy that you're here taking the time to learn for yourself how to love yourself, how to care for yourself just a little bit more, because when we're thriving, we can go out there and contribute and help other people thrive too. So thank you for being you, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.